Beat the book. Lord, I was born a gambling man. Let's win a little bit of money this weekend. My first best bet of this week in the Big 12. Baby. Dude, I look at these lines, and usually I try to take you from the 11 a.m.s all the way to the night games, and see that BYU is a 24.5-point underdog at home, and you would think it's a lock. It's a lock, right? I've got to go BYU plus 24.5. I mean, I've been such a homer for this team. Dude, that's way too many points. That's way too many points, but it also might happen. BYU's been so bad, and Oklahoma has so much to play, this vengeance to play for after the Big 12 just screwed them over. I can't. I'm not even going to touch it. I'm not even going to touch it this week. It should be BYU plus 24.5, but they might lose by 40. It might look like Baylor and Kansas State did last week. How about Cincinnati at West Virginia? This is one of them. I know Cincy just got its first win in Big 12 play all time. They won against Houston. Congrats. I could probably do that. West Virginia minus 6.5. The reason I'm going to go West Virginia minus 6.5 as a best bet this week, and I'm going to throw their money line into a bunch of parlays, is because they were on that uptick. The trajectory was better. They won at UCF by 13. They beat BYU by 30. The loss to Oklahoma was bad, sure, but I don't think this team is down and out. They're bowl eligible. They're better than Cincinnati. Don't overthink this. Who is better, Cincinnati or West Virginia? Definitely West Virginia. Are they better by a score? Yeah, I would like to think so. Record-wise, for sure. And overall, the way we've seen them play, C.J. Donaldson and Garrett Green, I think West Virginia wins this game by 10 or more points. Is it competitive? At times, yes. But West Virginia is still going to win by more than a touchdown. Baylor TCU. Brother, I'm going to do it. I have not done this in so long. The stupid trophy, the stupid rivalry. I've despised this team, that being Baylor. The school that I went to, I've despised. I've ragged on them so much in this show. They're going to cover 13 this week. Does it make sense? No. TCU fans, based on the way that I've now on my shows, I had to do a 1-11 last season. This should be great news for you. I'm taking Baylor plus 13. Why? Doesn't make any sense. That's exactly why. Do I have a reason to back it up? Absolutely not. Is TCU the better team? Oh my God, yes. By so many points. By so many metrics, TCU is better than Baylor. However, something in the Bears happens this week, and they show up to only lose by 12. Baylor's down by 6. Last play of the game, 3 seconds to go. They throw a pick 6. Final score, TCU 42, Baylor 30. I don't know. Baylor covers 13 at least. Not the best bet of the week. Oklahoma State, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to do it. Oklahoma State minus 7 on the road against Houston. Houston trying to stay bowl eligible, trying to stay in bowl contention, trying to obtain bowl eligibility, I guess. Not going to get a step closer this week. Going to be out of the race, dog. Oklahoma State wins by not just 7, but I got to win it by 14. Couple of touchdowns. Give the ball to Ollie Gordon. It's got to be a get-right game. This has to be a get-right game for the Cowboys. After what Houston did last week, losing at home by 10 to Cincinnati, I can't trust them, right? Neither can you. Our last 3 games on the slate here. Where do we get our best bets from these last 3? I am going to lay off of Kansas State and Kansas. Kansas State by 7.5, but Jason Bean expected to play. I just don't know how this plays out. I don't know what happens here. If I had to pick somebody, I think I go Kansas State. But Kansas, Kansas might be the 3rd or 4th best team in the Big 12. But they're not. They're not 100%. And for that reason, I'm just going to stay away from this. I think Kansas State wins probably by 3, maybe by 7, 7.5. It's tight. I'm not going to pick it. UCF and Texas Tech. This is a game. UCF and Texas Tech. This is a game where Tech shouldn't have it. You should get to bowl eligibility. But UCF last week was so good. Who's going to get to bowl eligibility first, UCF or Texas Tech? Do we lean John Rice Plumlee? Do we lean Baron Morton? And honestly, Tech was just not good enough offensively last week for me. I've got to ride the hot hand right now. I've got to ride. It's that weird nap time afternoon FS2 4 p.m. game. I'm going to go with UCF in an outright upset on the road, though it is not one of my best bets of the week. What is? Give me the Iowa State Cyclones. Jack Trice Stadium at night. Oh, it's going to be rocking. 7 o'clock kickoff on Fox. Texas, Iowa State. The Cyclones love to be, they love to rob teams of joy and fun. That's their whole brand. Even when they're bad, it doesn't matter. They're not bad. They're 6-4, 5-2 in Big 12 play. Still have a shot for a Big 12 championship. Do you want to complicate the entire tie-breaking process thing even more? If Kansas State wins this week, they're 6-2. Texas loses to Iowa State, they're 6-2. Iowa State also 6-2. Oklahoma State beats Houston, they're 6-2. And then BYU loses to Oklahoma, that puts OU at 6-2. There's a real way that happens. And then the Big 12 is going to come out and be like, hey guys, we changed the rules. It actually has to be Texas and Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game. That's probably what's going to happen. But this one, Iowa State and Texas. Gut feeling. I'm going to go with it. Quinn Ewers, the check down king, didn't have a great game against TCU. They only beat them on the road by 3. Iowa State is better than TCU. You're on the road. This one at night. I'm going to go with a team that just won 45-13. With a team that mowed through its start of Big 12 play. The Iowa State Cyclones. Give me the clones. Cyclone Larry over Texas this week. Please, God, for all that is good. I need this in my veins. This has been, it always will be. Let's make some money together. Place those bets. I place the bets that I give you. So if I lose, you lose. If you lose, I lose. This has been, and always will be. Woo! Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. I love you. Locked on. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.